So, hi, Roman.
Hi, James.
How you doing? You okay?
I'm doing very fine. We have good weather outside. Some tourists are starting to come back, and we're just waiting for more flights and for all the latest news, basically. But I actually never have been home-based or smart working. I've always come to the office. Very lucky in Prague because we are really situated downtown, and I never had so many Zoom, and internally we use Teams in my life. And I'm not a digital person. I prefer to meet people in person. And now slowly in Prague, people are coming back to the office. And in Vienna, it will take a bit longer, but that has to stay with, it's linked to the subsidies done by the state, basically.
Okay, that all sounds very positive to start with. I totally get what you mean about the whole virtual side of things, but we normally kick things off and start with a short introduction to yourself and sort of who you
No
represent.
problem. Okay, so I'm Roman, raised Straub, born in Germany, raised in Belgium, and I have worked and lived in 12 countries since then. I also worked for the Roqueforte group before it became Meridian. So I worked for them in Portugal and in the Caribbean. And I'm a hotelier, so I have done hotels all my life. And it's just a year ago that I joined the AIM group, and I just love Prague. I mean, I have all my passion for the home city of my wife and the home city of our two children.
Fantastic. So I guess what is the current situation in terms of Prague? You briefly touched upon it, but where are we?
It's very easy. I mean, I was in Vienna since I also I split my time in between Vienna and Prague, basically, and I got a message on the 12th of March from the German embassy. Please come home to Prague. Otherwise, we cannot guarantee that you can get home. So I take the train, not only because it's the easiest to work and travel. And since then, actually, that was the 12th, was the first day. Friday, here, they really closed everything very fast. We had already the mouth masks since the first day. What was great here, this is particular to other countries, you could not, here the shops are open 24 hours, some of them like the Tesco's, 7 days, but we have never been out of water, never been out of toilet paper like in other countries, never been out of some hygienic and mask things. Obviously we were a little bit out of it, and we had very few cases. Very lucky. Prague was kind of in a shutdown for a couple of months, so till mid of May. Actually, some hotels never closed because they had some projects in there and all that. And let's say now hotels, venues and all that are reopening. Obviously, we don't wear masks anymore. It's just at the current stage in the metro, in the underground, not in the tramway. Don't ask me for the logic. Basically, all we have is we're going back to a normality. On the other side, we still are missing the tourists, but now flights are coming back. Actually, the first tourists who are really coming back are the Germans and Austrians, because basically we are really like in, I don't want to say walking distance, but it's our neighboring countries. The city does some promotion with free entries to the museums and all that. What is a bit different in Prague towards Austria, probably even to the UK, we don't have so much nationals coming to the city in the summer. Obviously, all the resorts outside of Prague are full, basically.
Could you see there be any changes with obviously more people coming back internationally? Do you think there will be any changes that might be?
I mean, we have to respect the law. I think it's far too easy now to just throw the mask away. There's a nice story here because all of a sudden everybody were looking, inclusive our family, for the sewing machines. So it was nice, back to the roots.
So in terms of events, what can we as planners look to sort of bring back out to Prague, and what sort of?
Okay, we are allowed now to have inside 500, but also up to 2,500 if they respect the distances, which is great news. Outside, some smaller sporting events and some concerts are starting again. but they're not, I don't want to say there's conflicting news, but it's not as it used to be, for sure.
There's still some great sort of group sizes, though. I mean, and like you say, in terms of the UK, it would be great to, we're not quite there yet in terms of that kind of group size. So it's great to hear that already they are pretty sizable events that you can start to plan again.
I'm a very proud member of ICA for the simple reason because I was a CEO for 3 years of the Prague Congress Center, so that's the venue. And I know Excel because we also had an event there. And when I talk to my colleague and friend James Rees from the Excel Center and otherwise, we are probably, I don't want to say ahead because it's dangerous to say ahead.
I think that's kind of the point I was trying to get across in these types of interviews and sessions that we're putting on, is that there needs to be an element of confidence coming back into the market in terms of the actual industry itself, as well as our clients looking.
Absolutely.
But you're right in what you say in terms of, don't forget about Europe for the fact that you guys are predominantly more ahead than us. So in terms of safety, it's probably going to be safer right now if we're looking to put on an event to come out to the likes of yourselves.
I think it's always about the safety of our guests. It's about hygiene. I mean, you know, I'm a hotelier by nature, even though I work for the AIM Group, which is, as you know, PCO, and also DMC. But I must also say, unfortunately, I'm a very optimistic person. But it will take time that we will see some normality again in the behavior of the client. And I think people will meet again, but it's the whole industry, because I see it now also. Tourism plays a big part in a lot of countries. I will take my cap away so you see that we look alike. Basically also because I think you like facts. I mean, one thing I'm persuaded, and this is perhaps my hotel side, there will be for events, but even for transportation, there will be a trend also for the downsizing. I think the big paella for 1,500 people in Barcelona, I'm just making an example, where everybody eats out of the paella and all that, for a while, there will be rather individual portions, other things and all that. That will happen definitely. I mean, just go in any hotel in London and look how the buffet looks like, if there's a buffet. It's very different. The big buses where you put a maximum of people, I mean, you have the best example in England anyway, is the double-deckers. I think that for a while, the boats where you pack, I mean, we had the pleasure from when I went to the Excel to take the boat where you pack as many people as possible. I think this rather take 3 smaller boats and all that. F&B wise, or food and beverage wise, and even hygiene wise, the hotels have a lot of restriction, which is very different from country to country. Already even how to access the rooms, how to take an elevator and all that. And those are things people need to get used to. And now we will see for how long this length will be. And I think in our industry, there will always be a pre-COVID and a post-COVID time, and I'm persuaded of it. Yeah. Whatever happens, okay, I guess some things are even good, that you can just check in with your credit card, not speak to anybody. I don't like that. I'm a very talkative person, and I don't need to stay in a 5-star, but I like to say, hey, what is the coolest restaurant? What is the coolest pub? And I have somebody telling me, because on the phone, you can get all kind of information, but it's not always the reality. And certainly the hospitality and also the venue and also the organizing, they will change. And that's how it is. We will see now to which extent, but it will happen.
Yeah, and like I say, the whole need for the experience as well. Like you say, what is the best restaurant? Coming out and having an experience, as great as staying home has been, and it's been a necessity. It's great to go out and experience new things and new cultures, new places. Because we need that. We need that. So
I can see. I probably might not have the time, but I can see tonight 3 hours of the castle of Kent, the history of Kent, or whatever. But if I see it, I smell it. It's our senses. It's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to sort of put across in terms of Prague or?
No. I mean, you're more expected than ever. Anybody. I mean, our city is untouched. I mean, I know that every destination will tell you that, James, come now. I mean, but Prague is, for me, great all 4 seasons. And I don't say that because I live in Prague. The biggest thing in Prague, sorry, I did not mention that, it's extremely safe. As I mentioned to you in my introduction, I lived and worked in 11 countries, which I think is not bad for a young guy like me. Just kidding. But Prague, taking the underground, walking around at night. If you have stag nights or hen nights or whatever, I know that we're also famous for that. It's an extremely safe destination. And this, I think, is always good because it gives you some kind of safety. And there's not only Prague, with the whole Czech Republic, because we are actually the country with the most castles per inhabitant. We have just over 10 million, but we have the most castles. And a lot of people don't know, a lot of fairy tales are shot already in Czechoslovakia. That's the country before. And it's very nice, especially once you go out of the city.
That's all right. So what you're massively promoting is a buyout for the castles then. We're going to bring a group out.
James, if you would come next week, Natalie did it. We actually have the largest castle in the world. It's in Prague. You can Google it, double check it. And there is the only person who got his part restituted after the communism fell is Mr. Lobkowitz, or actually he's a Count Lobkowitz. You would fly in tomorrow, you would meet him, but even without COVID, Prague is filling up now, which is good. Direct flights we have.
That's great. It's great. Well, it's been fantastic. Okay. It's been fantastic learning about Prague and more positive stories, which is always good. The fact that you guys are open, like I say, already the size of events that you guys are holding is great news, and learning about the various options as well that you have out there. So it's been fantastic. Thank you for your time.
All the best. You're always invited. That's my city. All the best.
Come on, let's get ready. You know where we're heading. Giving a jive, living a life. We're gonna hit the heights. When that clock strikes midnight, we don't stop till daylight. So banish your blues, polish your shoes. We're gonna hit the heights. 'Cause I lose my head, feel my body sway when I hear that Creole music start to play. Gotta find that feeling when your mind starts reeling. Ready to blow, raring to go. We're gonna hit the heights. Hit it, boys! I go real dizzy and I lose control when I feel that rhythm burning in my soul. I said, come and get it, 'cause you won't regret it. Follow the drum, get out of the slum, we're gonna hit the heights. I said, follow the drum, get out of the slum, head for the neon lights. We're gonna hit the heights. Gonna hit the heights.
Thank you for watching. We welcome any feedback and questions in the comment section below, and please make sure you follow me on all our social networks.